Hello, my friends. Hey, it's Tuesday. So sorry that I didn't connect with you all yesterday. For some reason, because it was a long weekend, my kids were home and they were still feeling kind of sick. I just felt like it was Sunday and I completely forgot. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Monday. I need to be doing my live stream. My commitment is Monday through Friday. So had a little bit of a slip of the mind, hashtag mom life. So missed you guys yesterday. So kids are better. Kids are going to school tomorrow. We were home today. They're going to school tomorrow. That's why I have a late video today, because we don't we don't do videos as much when they're home, especially when I'm taking care of them when they're sick. So that's the deal. That's why. So hope you all are doing well and had a great weekend. So this video was something that I heard over the weekend, which I thought was really cool. And I just completed my program, Release and Realign, with over 100 awesome women. It was so much fun. And I noticed that in the beginning, when we did releasing of last year, we said goodbye to last year, what had happened then, what worked, what didn't work. And I noticed that a lot of, and I think this is common for a lot of us, disappointment comes up. Things didn't happen the way we wanted. Maybe we didn't hit the goals that we had, and we get frustrated and bummed out. So when it comes time for the new year and we're talking about what we're doing for this coming year, sometimes we get demotivated or we're afraid to commit to anything because just in case we don't get disappointed and things don't work out. And sometimes people don't even know what it is that they really want. And so this particular video that I was watching was talking about kind of something that to me was very similar to this, talking about expectations. A lot of the times when we get stressed out or pissed off, this could be with romantic relationships, this could be with, friendships, family, this could be with money or career. We have expectations for these relationships or these expectations for, our financial situation or our career. We have expectations about how things are going to go. And when our expectations aren't met, then we get disappointed and we get pissed off and frustrated. And it could actually go really well. It could go really well, but because we have an expectation and it doesn't quite get there, we see the whole thing as a failure and we see the whole thing as a disappointment, or we just give up on it. So I'll give you an example. And a desire is, I'm asking people going forward for 2019, I'm going to invite all of you to give up your expectations for 2019. And when I say that, I know sometimes people will say like, oh my gosh, give up expectations. That means like I'm lowering my standards. Like I don't want to do anything. Like that just seems like I'm not being motivated or driven enough. And I'm here to say, and I'm trying to, here to challenge you maybe to think a little differently. In that release and realign, we worked on our desires. Instead of expectations, we're going to release those, which is more coming from our mind, expectations, what we think we should do, what we think we should have, what society is telling us we should do and be, do and have, what our parents expected of us, all these different beliefs that we came up with in our lives. That's where expectations come from a movie we saw, from a book we read, whatever it is, some other influence outside of us. Desires come from here. So this is what Jen really wants. And I'll tell you what, this was really hard for me to do for a long time, really long time. I can't even, we won't even go there, but to really understand what my desires were truly for me took some digging. This is why I walked these women through this workbook in Release and Realign, because we're releasing the notion that we have to or should do anything, and we're releasing the negative beliefs that we've had and we've been taught, and then getting here, what are our desires? I want you to let go of expectations. Coming up doesn't mean you don't have goals. It means you have goals that are coming from your desires. You want to hold on like hell to your desires that come from here, which you may have buried deep down inside, which I did for a while. And it took me a lot of journaling, a lot of exercises, and people at coaches asking me questions and kind of putting me on the hot seat to really say, oh yeah, and to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable, talking about what I really, really wanted, because for a long time I didn't feel right saying it or admitting it so expectations, and I'll give you an example of the difference. A lot of people might say that it would be awesome to have $1 million, right? I would love to have $1 million. But so they have this expectation, I'm going to make $1 million this year. Now, they could make $800,000 which is pretty awesome, right? And I'm sure it takes care of their needs. But because their expectation was 1 million, they'll be pissed off and think they just failed, when actually they did pretty damn well. So I'm gonna invite you to kind of flip the script this year. What if your expectation was very minimal? And this is for relationships. I know this sounds cray-cray, but stay with me. What if you had minimal expectations? Like for money, my expectation is to have all of my survival needs met and maybe a little more than that. Now, my desire, what I really, really want, may be $1 million. My desire may be to have the incredible soulmate relationship that sets my fucking hair on fire, right? That could be any of those things. But my expectation is going to be that I get the basic needs met. So that what ends up happening is you're not disappointed because you know you're going to hit your basic, right? You're going to do that. And then you're still reaching for your desire. So you're not setting yourself up for disappointment. You're not setting, especially in like romantic relationships, if you're setting your expectations really, really high, depending on another person, because they have free will, they have free choice, you never know. Like your desire is to have an amazing relationship. You can visualize that. You can really just, how do I say, who do I need to be in order to be someone who attracts the most amazing soulmate? Who do I need to be $1 million earner? Who do I need to be in the best of health, right? Those are the questions you're going to ask yourself. Your expectation, though, is just that you're going to meet exactly what you need. And then you're going to keep your desire to that big, huge dream that gives you like goosebumps, that makes you like giggle and stuff, that makes you probably turn bright red maybe, and keep those. I wouldn't make that your expectation like it's going to happen this year. Our biggest desires, you can absolutely make them happen. I'm not saying that they're not going to happen or they're unrealistic. It might be unrealistic that they're going to happen now, that they're going to happen in a month, or they're going to happen in a year. But you don't want to let go of them because you can still take action, do all the things you need to do this year, and then manifest it next year. Or maybe you would manifest it this year, but at least hold the expectation for yourself that you're just going to show up and get what you need. And then that big desire is out there and you keep reaching for it and you keep going for it. You keep taking action. And when it happens, when you manifest it, when it's meant to happen, when you're in alignment, when you're taking divinely inspired action, when you're learning the skills you need to learn, when you're doing the growth that you need to do, you will manifest anything. But you got to be patient with the process. You got to fall in love with the process, not the result, not the outcome so much, and not the expectation. It's going to be falling in love with the process, putting your desires out there, unafraid, unapologetically putting them out there, and keeping your expectation probably on the lower side. The more, I don't want to say realistic because that's like boring to me. That means like I'm putting up with mediocre, but it's getting your needs met. It's getting your needs met so you're okay, so that you're free to do the higher things. Your expectations are going to get things met, so you're not scared, you're not desperate, you're not freaking out, because when you do that, you're going to lose touch with your intuition. You're going to lose touch with your higher self when you're freaked out and stressed out and you're not getting your basic needs met. And you're going to make choices that are not with your clear mind, with your higher self choices. So expectations are getting your basics met. Desires are still out there really high. Do not let your expectation be up there so that by the end of the year, you feel like you had a suck year and it failed. Maybe if you look back, you might realize, you know what? I did a lot of good shit and I really almost got that. I'm on the way. I am on the way to getting to that desire. But I had an expectation that it was going to be this, so I feel like I failed and I suck. When, like I said, your expectation could be $1 million and you could make 900,000. Were you probably more than okay with that? Yeah, you probably were, and you did some amazing things, but you're not seeing it because your expectation was different. So I hope that made sense. As I go along this week, I'm going to talk more to you about desires and how to get them out. I'm not going to go totally into the Release and Realign program because that was a 4-week thing, but I'm going to take little bits and pieces from it and kind of share with you what we did to really uncover our deepest desires, because you deserve, as you're making your new business, as you're, really wanting to have your soulmate relationship, as you're wanting to improve your finances, as you're wanting to do all these things, right? Then you're going to want to really uncover what it is you want. and get a clear picture of who you really are and what you want, and not your expectations that everyone else had on you. Okay, so don't should all over yourself. I heard that. I just heard that yesterday. I'm like, that's so good. Don't should all over yourself. So much love to you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love you guys, and let's have an amazing night. Any questions, drop them in the comments. Anyone you want to bring to this group who you feel could help from learning anything about this meditation stuff, law of attraction stuff, manifestation. I'll talk more about the meditation challenge as we get closer to February. Totally awesome, because we're all about getting in our body. That's how we're getting in touch with who we really are. It's about getting in your body first. Yoga was great for that. This month, meditation is going to be like the next step too. So good. So don't miss this. And I think that's it. Any other questions? Feel free to ask, message me, tag me, comment, and I'm happy to do that. Big hey to all of you, and much love. Mwah, and I will see you soon. Actually, see you tomorrow. Bye.